everyone. Welcome to SLR Season 1 or Season 2 of Tier 2. And we are here on F1 2019 now, and joined here is Mr. TipsyBob, back again. Want to say hello?
Hello to Triton. Just kick off here with the little intro. Pre-season testing of F1 2019 is over. Driver transfers have been completed, new regulations have been brought in, and we are guaranteed a new world champion. The SLR Tier 2 Formula 1 season is back. We kick off this season as always in Melbourne Albert Park with plenty of drivers looking to start the season strong to mount a firm challenge for the title left vacant by last season's champion Satoshi. I was actually going to give her an intro of yourself, Triton, but that's already done. So
I messed that up.
will we get a run? It's all right. Will we get a rundown of the team news?
Okay, so yeah, we got some interesting changes in the driver lineup. We have a bunch of new people, a bunch of reserves who have stepped up to full-time, and some returning people. So we'll start in order here with Mercedes, of course. We have Quality and Tats. I believe they were, I think they were the same team. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no change. No change there.
Yeah, there's no change, and then there's only one other team with no change that we'll get into in a minute here. And here at Ferrari, we have a whole new lineup. We have a new show named AG. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. AAG or AG, I think it is. And he, from what we saw in preseason testing that was going on, he is a force to be reckoned with. He's got a lot of pace. He was up there with some of the Tier 1 guys, even beating them. So definitely watch out for him. And we also have a familiar face, Mr. Wimpy, who is joining Tier 2 now and hoping to show his improvement, because from what we have seen, he has been on the grind for this game. Here at Aston Martin, we have a familiar face, may not look like it, but Mr. Adam Akihara, who's using a new username, Adrianov. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but I'm going to be calling him Adam for simplicity's sake. And also joining him is our very own from 2SRL, Mr. Jeremy Peters, who, if you've seen him in the 2SRL races, has some pretty good performances there, so watch out for him. Up in Renault, we have two new drivers as well here, Mr. Mar the Kraken, who is a new show as well and is showing some pretty good pace, and Super Hot Fire, who has stepped up from the reserve role to full-time. At Haas, real quick, we have Vinny, who's returning again and hopefully going to break his P4 curse, along with Mr. Neth Luke, who is previously in Tier 1 but is driving Tier 2 now after returning, and should hopefully put in a good result for Haas, Rich Energy Haas F1. And McLaren, we have Edward, who's returning as well, and also Radios, who is a former OG for SLR back in the day when we just begun. So looking forward to seeing those two drive together. And here at Racing Point, we have an interesting duo here. We have both Matthias and Silver, the two brothers, who are, I believe, running OCR, the other league. And these two have a lot of pace, so definitely watch out for them in terms of both Constructors and Drivers' Championships. Now, the other team that has the same lineup from before is Alfa Romeo, which is formerly Sauber. We have Mr. Keyboard Magnussen and Motocrosser, both very fast drivers looking to probably contend for that Constructors as well. And Toro Rosso, now we have Crimsonium and Mosey Gaming, who are both newcomers towards the middle half of Tier 2, I believe, and they have got a lot to prove, I think, so we'll be watching them too as well. And finally at Williams, you have an interesting driver pair here as well. We have Onion Barge, who was one of the top guys at the moment, but then had to quit halfway through for, I think, personal reasons. And also returning is our very own SLR Tier 1 commentator, Mr. Thimo Brown, who is hopefully going to have his motivation set this time. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting season here. So let's get back here to the screen here as we wait for the lobby. So Tipsy, what do you think is going to show up today? What do you think is going to happen? Any predictions?
Yeah, well, running down the team news myself, it's hard really to identify initially this early on, the strongest team, because a lot of teams have, they've got a lot of good drivers, like Racing Point with Silver and Matthias, Magnussen and Motocrosser, Vinny, of course, you can't discount Vinny. It's hard to really pick which team is going to dominate as such. So that's what I'm pretty much interested about to see at the moment, is in terms of what team is going to dominate. But in terms of the individual drivers, my goodness, there is quite a few guys here that can really compete for this title. So
Absolutely.
I think it's a bit early to call at the moment because um, I don't know if you've noticed yourself in some practice races that the 2019 game is a very different, well, not maybe not very different, but it is significantly different for me anyway, in terms of how it performs. And so some guys who you would expect to be dominating maybe aren't dominating as much, and other guys who would have been considered midfield are actually punching way above their weight. So I don't know. I think this first race is going to give us a good heads up in terms of where everyone's at. But so initially, if you're going to run down the names that we recognise at the moment, man, I would say what Vinny um, and Silver definitely. Just initially, just looking down it, definitely the two big names in this thing. Then of course Onion Barge, you put a good shout in. We've also you can see here Bance and Hugo
Oh yeah.
are they're running in the Renaults at the moment. Now, if they were tier two drivers, of course I would put them in one of the strongest teams. But of course, they're just reserves this season.
Yeah, definitely. But looking here as well, yeah, this is pretty much wide open. Like, arguably more, it's going to be closer here than it is going to be in tier one, potentially. For those who are unaware of what's happening, tier one is now.
I think we're gonna get in the black screen Triton on the stream.
Oh, do we have black screen?
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure this is working properly. Check now. Check now. My apologies. Okay,
Just checking on my other screen here. It seems to be still black for me at the moment.
Okay, then that's not good. I don't understand how that happened when I set my game capture. Okay, so yeah, we have, unfortunately, technical difficulties as it would be with the first stream, so let's make sure this is good. So this should be, yeah, this should be unlocked and should be going. Okay. Try now, let's see. Make sure. So I'm actually gonna go check it out myself here. But in the meantime, besides this, I suggest or if you guys are enjoying yourselves, be sure to check out the EGL channel for the previous season, and be sure to subscribe if you are enjoying what you see. So let's make sure we're still not black screened here. Yeah, this is still a black screen. I am uncertain of what's happening here, so
this is a common trend, Triton with the tier two boys.
yeah, it seems that we always seem to have the technical difficulties on our side. So okay, let's see. Should be going now. Okay.
Also, I'm getting some reports, Triton, that the in-game volume is a little bit too loud.
Oh, okay.
Although, if anybody can tell us on the chat if they can confirm this, if the audio levels are okay.
Okay. So what we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna reset, not the stream, but I'm gonna add the game capture back and see if that works. So sorry, bear with us, but we just need to have a stream here. So capture a specific window, make sure we're going, and now let's make sure this is working. So okay, it should be good now. I saw it there. So yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So my apologies, guys. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna ride on board with okay, Aaron is his name. So we'll call him Aaron, or AAG, the guy I was saying that we should most likely be watching out for. So as he prepares for his lap here through Australia, which is personally one of my favorite tracks, as it is my home track, as Vinny puts in 24/7 on hard tires. Let's ride on board here, up to the 100-meter board, slam the brakes, try and trail brake in as you do in this game, feed the car through the first two turns here, and now onto the DRS as Hugo goes on the full Vance goes ahead of him at the 100-meter board, hit the brakes hard, second gear to get the rotation, go up to third if you can. I think he's gonna, yeah, fourth gear and get the rotation through this little kink here, flat through the next turn here as we approach the end of the first sector. And now with this track, you kind of want to be carrying as much speed as you can through these corners after the 100-meter board into the curve there. Avoid the first curve, take the second one, ride along the inside line there, and now drift to the outside here after the 100-meter board where the white line ends. Again, avoid the first curve as much and try and avoid that second one as well, as curves are very hard in this game. Coming up towards one of the hardest turns on this track, in my opinion, now the chicane. after the 50 meter, and where that line is, you turn in. A bit slow in for Aaron, but he's getting very good precision from that. I don't know if he actually is invalidated or not, because yeah, he is swerving, but at the 100 meter board, we're still right on board with this. It's sloppy through there, but again, I don't think he's fully on this lap. And again, after the 50 meter board there, chuck the car in. After the bridge, turn in very slowly into this corner here as somebody spins up, and he is going into the pits. But that is actually a lap of Australia, as best as I can give it to you from there.
Yeah, while you were running through that, Triton, Jeremy had a bit of a hurry moment at the middle section chicane. He completely, I just got the tail end of it, but I just seen him almost just skim the wall. So
Oh dear.
he's going to limp his way back to the pits. Start again. But these times at the moment, 22.5s, although they're reasonably decent times, I can see them dropping, because we do know Hugo and some of the boys here can get in the 21s. So expect these times to drop as the track wears in.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, running on board with Onion Barge, I think he might have been held up a little bit there by, I think that was Adam. So, oh, and Radios has had a collision. I don't see who that was with. And he gets into the. Oh dear, what's going on here? Radios is struggling a bit here. I don't know what both the Alfa Romeos were doing. They were both kind of just on the tarmac there, and he's got to move out of the way. Oh my
God, what are you doing?
Radios, and he's hit Onion Barge actually. So he's got a penalty for that. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're rejoining the track. You can't. I know it's a very narrow track, but still, I don't know if that put Onion Barge off or not. But oh dear, that was a very hairy moment there. As looking now here, we saw just now, I think GK Project, who's a reserve today, and Tats both joined, and so they're going to be starting in the back. I don't know if Radios' grid penalty is going to affect that or not, but yeah, as Onion Barge does cross the line and go P3, so good luck from him. Now we're going to go try and ride on board with his teammate, who is on a lap right now, Mr. Thimo, representing 2SRL. As it is known, people with 2SRL in their name have a +10 appeal, or visual appeal, so we'll put it at that. Anyway, so as Timo's coming up here, he's been showing some good pace in the preseason as well. Some consistency improved over last season, especially in both 2SRL and SLR. He didn't race last season for 2SRL, but he will be returning, so watch out for that. I believe this Sunday, as well as SLR. Watch his commentary on Saturday. So. Quick update though, is the stream okay?
Yeah, it seems to be running pretty good, man. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Audio levels are okay. I turned it down a bit and made sure of it. Hopefully it's good.
I think it's a bit jumpy, the reports I'm getting. The stream is a little bit laggy, a bit jumpy.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's that might be my frame rate. Yeah. I'm hearing some weird audio things here as well, but yeah, the game is still a bit early, so we won't say anything yet. But meanwhile here, okay, so yeah, I'm getting messages here. The audio is a bit low. And the starter on the graphics, I'm unable to stop. I think that's just the graphics card. And the audio, we can try and turn that up a bit. Is it the game audio?
Silver's retired.
Audio. Oh, Silver's out?
Silver's retired. I was yellow flag, and then it's retired, so he must have had an incident.
Oh dear.
Must have wrecked his car, must have lost the wheel.
So yeah, Silver, I said, for this race is going to be starting P12. If nobody jumps in, and I doubt he's going to stay there P12, so.
Crimson was sitting the wrong way in the middle of Sector 2, but he's got a car going again. Seems to be struggling. Yeah, I think this season, for me anyway, and I've seen a lot of the guys seem to be struggling as well. It's very easy to spin the car, especially with the no traction. I mean, too much throttle and the back end just snaps on you. So it seems to be catching some of the boys out at the moment. A lot of yellow flags in Sector 2 being waved.
Yeah, okay, I turned, yeah, sorry, I'm turning my mic up a bit here. I can't really see yet. Okay, now we're good. Yeah, the yellows are gone right now. Hopefully, yeah, there's more yellows in Sector 3. I don't know what's going on, but we'll stay on board with Vance for the minute. He's on what should be a flyer right now. As as he carries a lot of speed into the chicane and is able to get it slowed down enough. And yeah, there's the yellow flag. That's Hugo's, actually his teammate, into the wall. So he's screwed up the chicane a bit, and he's got it going though. Luckily he didn't lose a wheel, but Vance hopefully wasn't put off by that. Should be clear now for him. Yeah, and it's cleared up there. So as he comes through the final corner, it's a lot more speed to that than I thought possible. Oh, and he hits the curb though, and he might have lost some time out of that. But it's still good to keep going. There's no point in stopping it now. Can he cross the line and improve? He's going to do a 22.2. So yes, he does improve, but I feel like there's a little bit more time on the table for him than that. As yeah, Hugos is going to come into the pits now for repairs. So at the moment, we have a Renault 1-2. So as I'm riding on board now with Mr. Keyboard Magnuson, who is, as you would expect, on a keyboard, which I don't know how good or bad that's going to be in this game. I wouldn't assume it would be the best, especially considering he doesn't use traction or ABS, so he is going to be locking up quite a bit. As Aaron goes P1 at the moment with a 22.1. That's a great lap. I'm sorry I missed that, but we'll see what Keyboard Magnuson can do here, because he's a fair bit behind Onion Barge for P5, so we'll see what he can do. Like I said, his teammate is currently P11, but I don't know how, seems like they're right behind each other. They queued pretty well. I don't know if he's giving him slipstream or not, but I don't think it's going to be too powerful on this track, so we'll have to see. As Motocrosser goes P6 and Keyboard Magnuson goes P3 and splits the two Renaults, so it's looking good for them so far. So yeah, the mic volume is a bit too low. I'm gonna try and turn it up again. Yeah, I can see the levels here are not what I would like. So we're gonna try again. And if you guys could test it for me now, I've pretty much maxed it out on OBS here. So let's see. Anyways.
So Jeremy's just starting his proper timed lap at the moment. He didn't have much success in the previous lap. I think he spun, like I said, in the second chicane. But judging by his TT times, I mean, he can get P1 easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If he can, you know, nail a lap together. I mean, there's just under. Just over 5 minutes to go. I still see these times. I don't know whether Aaron is safe just yet. I can still see someone getting the mid.
Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, Mosey is out there at the back, so he didn't even put in a lap time. So that's gonna mean he's probably starting from. I think he will be P17 because there are two people behind him who have joined in late. So, but yeah, sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to say, with the little time left, I can still see someone banging in roughly probably a mid to high 121. I would say you're expected from Vance, Hugo, even Keyboard, and even Jeremy. Although Aaron is showing some great pace at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised
definitely.
if he goes even faster.
Yeah, I'm expecting maybe some of these guys to reach the 21s. I know Hugos is capable of much better than a 22.8.
Oh yeah.
His time, I mean, time trial, once again, we're not condoning time trial as a median to like actually assess a driver, but as Jeremy goes, I think Jeremy just improved to P7, so good for Jeremy there. So he's got a little bit more pace, I think, even to show, because he did run into a bit of a hairy moment. I saw, I think it was a McLaren and a Toro Rosso spun around. I think that was Mosey as well, so Jeremy had to navigate through that, but yeah, at the moment, Hugos was, I think Hugos was doing 21 ones in time trial, which is a fairly good lap, if you ask me. In fact, a pretty solid lap, so I'm pretty sure Hugos can hit the mid-21s, if anything, at least, in his next lap, because we saw he messed up his second lap, so he's going out right now, actually, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, but it's like
he's pitting in, actually. Sorry.
It's like you were saying, you know, you can't really use time trial as a not so much as a benchmark, but you know, just because someone gets a really fast time in time trial doesn't mean that we're expecting them to get it in qualifying, because as I know everyone knows, time trial, the car is in the most perfect condition, tires in every way. Qualifying online is a little bit different. I know with myself, I'm never really a fast TT time anyway, but I always struggle in qualifying, and they usually make it up in the race. And I think some of the guys we're watching here today might suffer the same kind of fate as myself. Not as good in qualifying, but better in the race. And I'm mainly thinking Jeremy. I'm thinking Jeremy probably won't hit his potential in qualifying, but I expect him to make up the places.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen him drive for the most part as, oh dear, Radios is about to, yeah, that was a bit of a hamper for Vance. He was completely on the apex, and I think Vance has just lost that lap, and he is more than likely not happy about that. Radios was coming out of the pits, and unfortunately didn't see Vance was coming behind him, so one thing to note, guys, is that it is really hard to kind of keep track with so many cars on the track, but you have to do your best to be avoiding some of these guys. But Vance is still going. Hopefully he had fuel to go again, but I'm not too sure. But we'll keep an eye on him as Hugos is on an out lap, and so is Onion Barge. Aaron is in the pits, and so is Keyboard Magnuson. But like you said, Tipsy, some of these times are going to start tumbling here, especially from the top guys right now. So at the moment, I think, yeah, Vance is just cutting through it. I think he's just trying to get back to the pits to get that lap, the next lap in, but I don't think he's going to have time, unfortunately, so that is not optimal, unfortunately, so I feel like there might be a bit of an exchange of words after the race, but yeah. Moving on from that, we have everyone pretty much out on their out lap here, because this is going to be the prime time to set these laps, because session's about to be over, and the flag's going to be waved, and the times, or the laps are going to be, or the drivers are going to be going all out at this point. Nothing to lose.
Yeah, I've been running on board with Rados for quite a bit, and I know it's only the first race of the season, but he's been involved in 3 pretty major incidents at the moment, and he is at the moment looking a little bit out of his depth, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit sad, personally, to see the McLaren struggling so bad.
Oh yes, I know you would. I believe you're driving with me McLaren for Tier 1, I believe. Oh yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, you guys might want to watch Tier 1 Saturday and see us.
Constructors champion.
Oh my goodness! And Hugo's invalidated his lap, so he just slammed into the wall and is out of the session. So this is now game on for Keyboard Magnuson and Onion Barge, and to maybe try and snipe pole from Aaron here. But like I said, anything can happen here as Onion Barge is about to run into some traffic. Okay, luckily they moved out of the way. I don't know which Red Bull that was. That was Adam. So hopefully that didn't put him off too much, because he didn't necessarily impede him there. So, but it was enough to maybe distract him. But I believe this is his lap. So yeah, he is pushing it through the final couple of turns here. Onion Barge trying to claim pole position. His teammate's P11 right now. Thimo's still got some pace to show as well, so we'll keep an eye on him as he is coming over the line now, and he's going to cross it. What are we going to get? He's going to go up to P4, so not pole position, but so for the moment, Aaron is good. Okay, so the stuttering seems to be getting worse. I'm going to try and fix that real quick, see what I can do. So yeah, I have some things open here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this done. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Aaron has got this secured at Triton, because anybody that can really challenge him have seemed to have backed out of their lap. Keyboard Magnuson has backed out, I think.
Oh yeah.
Onion Barge is backed out. Jeremy's backed out as well. Yeah, the only guys on a charge at the moment is Vinny. So I think Aaron has got this one nailed.
Okay, so yeah, that might be it then. Yeah,
I think he's coming up against a bit of traffic. Jeremy's in the way.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. Where's Vinny? He still hasn't put in a lap. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what he can do. Is he gonna cross the line?
Aaron's went even faster.
Aaron went faster, 121.9. So he's the first one to reach the 121s. As Vinny puts in a 123 and goes up to P3 in the process. So it's a great lap from Vinny, hoping to break his P4 curse, as I said. But yeah, Thimo goes up to P7, which is a pretty good lap from him, 23 flat. Ahead of Adam, who's P8, Jeremy P9, unable to get much, and is out-qualified by his teammate. Motocrossers only able to manage P10. Wimpy, impressive P11, and the back of the grid. It should be an interesting one actually, this grid, because Silver is P14, and we have two other, I think GK Project, who's fairly quick from what I've seen, and Tats I haven't seen much as of yet, unfortunately, but Silver should be able to, it should be exciting to see how he works his way through the field, because we do know how much pace he has, but
Where's Tats? Yeah, I don't see Tats.
he just joined, he joined after
Oh.
quali, so yeah, Radios is working his way into the pits at the moment, very slowly, and he's the final one, so I think he's out of fuel, but yeah, he should probably retire to get,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
I mean, it's only been qualifying, but initially I think there's some things for the FIA to have a wee look at the moment.
Unfortunately, I have to agree, yeah, a lot of incidents going on, a lot of interesting moments going on, like with Hugos. I think I'm sure he invalidated his lap, so he just didn't want to. Like, I guess he didn't want to just work his way back to the pit, so he just put it on the wall. But what else? I don't know if Vinny did get held up too much there, but that is our grid, I believe. As soon as Radios goes into the pit, so congratulations, Aaron, the first pole sitter of the season of Tier 2. Confirming what I said, that he has got a lot of pace and is showing it very well at the moment. So yes, here it is. We have Aaron on the front row, joining him is Bance, and then behind them on the second row is Vinny and Keyboard Magnussen, and then behind that are Onion Barge and Hugos, and then coming P7 and P8 is Thimo and Adam. And P9 and P10 finishing out the point scoring finishes are Jeremy and Motocrosser. And then behind them we have Wimpy, Crimsonium, Qualthy, Silver, who unfortunately crashed out, Edward, who didn't get a proper lap in actually, Radios, who also didn't get a proper lap in, Mosey, who unfortunately crashed out, and then we have GK Project and Tats, who joined in late, unfortunately, but it's better to be in the race than not in it at all, am I right? So
you're right there. I think that overall, although the times weren't as fast from some of the guys that we would have expected, I think that looking at the grid, it's kind of taken the form that we could have probably predicted in terms of who would be at the front and who would be at the back. Although the only big surprise, not his own fault, of course, is Silver. So I'm expecting to see a charge from the back from Silver.
Yeah, I highly expect that too. Let's talk about the track real quick though in terms of the race. Melbourne is essentially a street circuit. Not very wide, a bit narrow, not very easy to overtake on, and the session's about to start because people have already chosen their setups. So that's something interesting. An interesting thing to note, yeah, for some of you guys who are in other league races, it's probably better to not start the race instantly. You want to give yourself time to look at your setup, look through your if you want to change the front wing or the brake bias, change the fuel, make sure you're on the right tire session. As Radios just left the session, I'm hoping, yeah, he's ghosted. I'm hoping that was an internet crash and but it comes back on, then he's able to come back in and not just a rage quit, because I do want to see some racing. So meanwhile, as Aaron leads the way on the formation lap, yeah, as I was saying, it is not very easy to overtake here. It's not very easy to follow either. I don't know how severe the turbulent air is in the game. I haven't had much time to test it myself, but I do know that the slipstream is pretty decent, but I don't know if it's anywhere near as good as it was last game, where you could pretty much stick behind a car and just follow them, even though they were pretty much faster than you. I, for one, experienced that a lot, where I was able to stay behind a much quicker car, who is probably like half a second quicker, but just stick with them just by staying in their slipstream. So we'll see how this race goes and see how that plays into the effect, or plays into the factor. So before we start the race again, oh sorry.
Can I just say, Triton? So if you remember early on, whenever I did my intro, I was saying that there's new regulations in terms of how the league will be run in terms of penalties and that kind of thing. Well, we have already seen the regulations in force, because I have been informed Rados has actually been asked to leave due to the incidents he's been causing in qualifying. So that's a clear indication as the cars are forming up now. To anybody else who does continue to take in this part in this league, that SLR means business, and if you're not up to standard, you will be asked to leave.
Yes, thank you, Tipsy. Thank you for that. That is a
All
very
right.
interesting thing to pay attention to. Then, so yeah, like I said, guys, it is of vital importance that you assure clean racing and fair racing. But on that note, let's get this started because we should have a bit of a cracker on our hands here as I don't get a good camera angle. Okay, there we go. Now I got one. So we go here for 3, 4, 5 lights on. And tier 2 for SLR is underway. It's a pretty good start from Aaron and a pretty good one from Bance as well, I think. But actually, he might lose some places there. One of the Red Bulls goes wide. Into turn 1 we go. Bance holds on from Keyboard Magnuson, who jumps Vinny. And Onion Barge is up there as well. I think Hugos might have lost some places. I see some contact there in the back. So hopefully nothing too major there as Quality makes up some positions. And Vinny has lost out a lot on the start there as Aaron is already building a massive gap between himself and Vance. So going tier 3 now towards the end of the first sector. Keyboard Magnuson right on Vance's tail. Hugo's on the tail of Onion Barge. Thimo right behind, and Wimpy up in the P8 behind Vinny. So that's a pretty exciting start at the moment. We got yellow flags, and Adam is already into the wall.
No.
And there's a massive pile up here. Silver involved as well. Adam in, and Edward makes his way around, and that is a big pile up there. So Silver got to get it moving again. I do see front end plate from Force India on the floor there, so he is, yeah, he's got some damage. He's gonna have to pit in there as well now. So meanwhile, Vance trying to catch up back to Aaron, but yeah, that is really unfortunate for Silver. Like we said, we hyped up his potential run up through the field, but that is really disappointing for him. So hopefully he can make something happen. I do believe we have safety car enabled, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so pretty eventful first lap here for tier 2 as Vance is trying to get on the tail, on the back of Aaron here. He is in the slipstream. Going to be probably turning up the DRS here as we kind of put the telemetry up. Yeah, he's in mode 2 right now, so might be harvesting as he goes wide there. I get a warning for that. So let's back into the different camera here.
So Silver's coming into the pits at the moment, man, with a few other cars. I think another Toro Rosso. Who's that?
Yeah,
I can't make it out. Yeah, but I think he's going to need a wing change. Yeah, he's getting a wing change. He must have sustained major damage, and he's going to the softs.
Yeah. Meanwhile, up front here, we have a big battle here for P3 to P9 or P8 here as it's a big train of cars here. We got lead. I believe it's led by Onion Barge at the moment, and right behind him is Keyboard Magnuson, Hugos, Thimo, Vinny, and Wimpy sends it up the inside. Oh, and he spins himself around and puts Vinny off the track nearly. So that was a bit too overdone by Wimpy there. He's got to take it a little bit easier, but luckily he's able to come back out, but just behind Tats, who is filling in for Ness Luke and is right on his tail now. So very unfortunate.
Oh, Jeremy's really struggling. He can't keep the car on this track at the moment.
Oh dear. So let's see what's happened. His teammates in trouble here as well, and Jeremy, yeah, seems to be struggling.
Yeah, he spun twice in the one lap so far. So unless he's got front wing damage, I'm not sure. But he's really nursing that car. I think he's got wing damage, judging by the way that was moving.
Yeah, that's unfortunate here. As right now, Hugos is right on the tail of Keyboard Magnuson for P4. No DRS yet this lap because the detection will start next lap, but it is enabled now as he goes round the outside of Keyboard Magnuson. Magnuson tries to brake really early, a little bit of wheel banging, and now converts to the inside line. And now he squeezes Keyboard Magnuson out a bit, but they're still in this, and he tries to put his way ahead, and he does get ahead. That's very good driving from both, as yeah, Jeremy does pit and gets a speeding penalty, unfortunately, so nothing really working out his way, like you said. So
we've lost Adam at the moment. I don't know what happened with Adam.
Yeah, I saw he crashed into the wall, and there was a big pile up there where that Silver was involved in, and Mosey might have been as well. But yeah, now meanwhile, Thimo also trying to get on the back of Keyboard Magnuson as well. This is where I think Keyboard Magnuson might be struggling actually, is with tire temperatures, because in some of the single player modes I've been playing, it is not very pleasant with the tire temperatures, especially with the softs on Australia, and I would assume it would be worse with a controller, let alone a keyboard. So
yeah, I think this year they focused mainly on tire management and fuel.
Yeah.
So with those sharp kind of dabs on the keyboard for the steering, he's bound to be overheating
Oh,
them
Bance is,
tires.
sorry to interrupt you, Bance is already in the pit lane. Does he have damage? I'm gonna be watching
Oh.
here and seeing if the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be seeing if they're getting a front wing change here. No, they're not. He's pitting already. I don't know if he had...
It's a bit early.
Yeah, I don't know if he had...
So he's going to have to stop again.
Yeah, he's definitely on a 2-stop, but I think he might have had wing damage, and he tried to change as Wimpy and Tats are going wheel to wheel. They go a bit off track there for Wimpy, but he does manage to hold it on there, and GK Project from last place is now putting his way in, and Wimpy forces him off the track a bit. Didn't really see him there. That was not very nice of him, but luckily no damage there, but I'm sure GK Project is not going to enjoy that, but he is going to be chasing him down now. But Wimpy and Tats were going wheel to wheel there. Tats up all the way from, I think, last place almost as well. It's up into P7, taking advantage of the car into silver. Like I said, showing his pace, putting in the fastest lap at the moment on those fresh tires. But yeah, riding on board here real quick with Crimsonium. Crimsonium, I have to say that properly. As Keyboard Magnuson gets our first time penalty, I believe. So he's also pitted as well early. I believe that is a result of...
Wimpy's going side by side. I can't remember that corner name with Tats.
Oh yeah, that's a chicane, I believe there. We'll just call it that, as yeah, he does get the move done. He's got DRS now, and GK Project also has DRS. Tats is going to have to make way for him as round the outside he goes. He's going to have to break a little bit earlier, GK Project, but going around there, is he going to get it? And they're still side by side here, but Tats has got the inside line, but he's going to have to yield because GK Project carries the speed in, but now he's still side by side with them, and they bang wheels a bit, and ooh! And Tats has to go off the track a bit, but he's carrying speed, and Wimpy goes off the track, and now GK Project gets past both of them. Whoa, that was some great racing. As I think Kwapti might have had an issue there. Somebody had an issue, I'm not too sure, but I like how Radios' Ghost is P10 at the moment.
Tats and Wimpy are having a massive battle at the moment. Tats went off track.
Oh dear, yeah, Wimpy's trying to find his way through. Tats had the DRS there that was able to help him, as yeah, Wimpy is muscling that car around the corners at the moment, but
Tats is struggling at the moment with understeer.
Yeah, he's got his tires are gonna be a little bit more worn than Wimpy. Wimpy is on I believe Wimpy's on yeah, he's on medium.
It's on the mediums.
So, yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a glitch or not, but yeah, he's coming right around him now. Tats goes to the inside to defend Wimpy. Much later on the brakes, goes around the outside, and no, they make contact, and Tats spins. Oh, that is really unfortunate. A bit. I don't know if that was any wheel banging or anything going on there, as yeah, Tats is gonna get past here as Motocrosser, or Keyboard Magnuson, I mean, comes right behind him, and now he's gonna have to try and get past here. And trying to wait to get his way around as he does go on the brakes. Yeah, it goes down the inside there. Very nicely done from Keyboard Magnuson, taking advantage of that.
Yeah, Tats is not showing much confidence at the moment on the brakes. He's getting really early on the brakes.
Yeah, it's not looking too well for him at the moment. In the meantime, Thimo is up in P4 trying to chase down his fellow Twisterell mate, Hugos, who is 1.8 seconds up the road. Thimo showing some good pace.
Bance on the back end of Wimpy here, Triton. I think he may be going for a wee pass.
Yeah, he's going to have DRS zone. Here, definitely, yeah, he's going to be much faster. A few lap old or younger tires. Does he have the DRS open? I can't see, but he does not, and he goes right around the outside, and ooh, Wimpy does go a bit early or a bit late on the brakes and goes into the back, into the side of him a bit, but luckily nobody is fully damaged there. As Vance gets a really bad entry there, and Wimpy also kind of has to take evasive action. Getting a bit hairy between everyone, but some very, very exciting racing going on so far, especially for Australia, where we thought we wouldn't be getting too much. So meanwhile, back up front, we're gonna look at the gap to the leader here. Yeah.
That's what I was looking at the moment. All the cars seem to be balancing themselves out. The front 7, kind of neutralizing each other.
Onion Barge is actually making his way towards Aaron, who actually goes into
Aaron
the
pits.
So it'll be interesting to see what tires he goes on. If he goes on to the mediums, he is more than likely going to be 2-stopping. Yeah, he is 2-stopping. I believe those are medium tires. Yeah. So slow on the pits. So he's going okay. It's that same glitch from the last game, but. So yeah, from the lead, he will have a pretty good undercut on Onion Barge, but if Onion Barge can go a couple more laps, he should be able to make the one-stop work, because I do not think you can make this work from this lap on those medium tires, unfortunately. But yeah,
Tats is absolutely bullying Keyboard Magazine at the moment on his new soft.
right at the back of the field too. Yeah, on
Yeah.
brand new soft tires, absolutely. As
Oh, got a Mercedes off. Kawadi's tough.
That's unfortunate. There, it should be noted also that Tats should be in the Mercedes, but it was just down to the fact that he joined at the wrong time, I guess. I believe GK Project was supposed to be in the Haas, but you don't really get a choice when you join late, so there's no need to overthink that, I guess. But yeah. So
Thimo's closed the gap on Hugo's by quite a margin. He's within half a second of him now, and he's going to get DRS.
Yeah.
So unless Hugo had an issue, because I remember it was about 2 seconds of a gap, so Hugo must have had an incident.
Yeah, might be struggling on those tires as well. Should be noted that Hugo is now full time on the and he gets a penalty, which didn't really seem like he did much there, but must have been a bit of a track extension. But yeah, Thimo is going to have DRS on him now, and is right on the back of him at the moment. So yeah, with the overtake engaged here, I don't know if he's going to be able to. And Vinny gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So actually that's interesting because now they changed it from a stop-go to just a 5-second time penalty for this game. So figuring something new out here each time. As I think Vinny is also on the 2-stop. He's on soft tires as well. So Mosey also gets a time penalty as well from P14 on the hards.
Aaron's going for a pass on SLR GK project. Oh, he goes right deep.
Oh yeah, he goes right through him, and there we go. That is the move done. 1 lap mediums versus 7 lap softs. I would assume that would be no contest there, especially considering Aaron's pace at the moment. So very well done from him so far. As we go back here to the fight for not the net podium position, but the current podium position, because we never know what can happen with safety cars and whatnot. Excuse me.
If it can draw your attention to Tats, because he's just about to go on the main straight, so he might see a wee pass on Keyboard Magazine.
Let's get down there then to that, as yeah, he is coming up on him. Going to be able to go much later on the brakes. It's a matter of how he gets the exit though. Keyboard Magazine seems to have that under control as and now he's lost front wing from that, and he rode too much on that curb and he just over pushed it a little bit, unfortunately. So yeah, he's gonna have to go back to the pits.
I think he got a little bit too excited there.
Yeah, I don't blame him. As Hugo's, Thimo, and Onion Barge all 3 enter the pits. So that's actually not optimal because Williams are going to be double stacking. I think Thimo actually slowed it down a bit in the pit lane there to make sure. So that might have actually been smart. Yeah, he may or may not get held here still a bit. Yeah, he's actually still going to be, yeah, he's going to lose a second or 2 from that. Yeah. So, not the worst pit stop still, but it's not exactly going to help him as Wimpy comes out ahead.
Mosey Gaiman's off track.
As does Edward. Oh, Mosey's off. Oh dear. So yeah, he's rejoining back very slowly, making space for Mr. Keyboard Magnuson there. So yeah.
That was nice.
Very well, very good rejoin from Mosey. Very good. That's
the kind of thing that we're looking more of not only, you know, good drivers, but good knowledge of racing and how to go about it safely. And Mosey Gaming demonstrated perfectly well there, how to safely rejoin.
So yeah, very good. As Silver right now is all over the back of Thimo, and he's actually gonna have to pit soon as well. As oh dear, he's gonna have a great run here. He's going side by side. Thimo closes the door on him and has to exert a bit of caution there. Silver does, but now he's got a much better run here out of the coming up towards the chicane. As yeah, he's just gonna be able to pass him, I think, off of pure speed there. And Timo's not gonna fight him too hard there, very wisely. So good job from Silver. Still got a pit though again. So he's kind of just not really doing Thimo much favor. But it's all is fair in racing in that matter. So, and it seems that he's marginally quicker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've got Vinny. He's Hugo goes a bit deep there. We've got Vinny. He's going to go for a pass. He's right on the back end of Hugo's at the moment.
Yeah.
In the DRS zone.
Yeah, with the tire difference, yeah, it's going to be no contest here. I don't think. Yeah, Hugo does go to the inside, but then goes back to the outside, and I think Vinny's going to try and work it down the inside, but he's unable to do anything. As yeah, oh dear, we got a lag from Wimpy, I think, and Edward. Yeah, Edward behind. I didn't see what was happening there, but up front, yeah, Wimpy does have a look as Vinny goes right down the outside, right around the outside here. He's going to have the inside, and I think Hugo is going to have to yield this. Yeah, the tire advantage there, showing his way, and Vinny showing some good racing there. A bit harsh but fair, as we call it. A bit of wheel
Vinny's
bang.
going to come up against these two boys,
Oh, yeah,
with Edward and Wimpy, who are battling it out.
Yeah, this is not going to help him either. Aaron is still 2 seconds now in the lead ahead of Bance, who's stopped several laps ago, actually. So I believe Bance might be two-stopping. That's the case. But yeah, right now we do have a big train here going on Silver, or from Silver, Hugos, and Thimo down, as Timo's right on the back of Hugos, and he's actually getting past him finally. And yeah, he does get the move done. Very well done for Thimo, and now he might have DRS, I think. No, Hugos has DRS, and now he's going to have a run on him, but Thimo also has DRS from the guys in front, as they're all going wheel to wheel to wheel to wheel. I think
Oh, we've got a train here from 5th to 9th.
There's some front end play going off somebody's car there. I didn't see whose, but yeah, somebody just lost some front wing. Hopefully that wasn't major for any of them, because this is going pretty well. It might have actually been Vinny, as Vinny shoveled off the track. It is actually Vinny's front wing, I think, that is gone there a bit. Yeah, I can see some of it missing. So that is going to hamper him a bit. So he's going to fall prey to maybe Thimo and Hugos both. So yeah, this seems that, okay, Thimo bunny hops over the curb a bit there. Does take enough there and doesn't get the best exit, but yeah, Thimo is going to be prey to Hugos maybe, who might have a look around the outside. Does think better of it though. But yeah, Edward, who has yet to pit, is really holding this train up at the moment. As I said, it is not easy to pass here, as I do see somebody going for it here. It is Silver and Wimpy, and they're going to try and go wheel to wheel here. Wimpy is able to hold on to that.
Oh no.
Oh dear, but who's gone off now? Wimpy's gone off the track, and now he has to rejoin. Very, very... Is that going to be safe?
My goodness.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So
he lost 5 places in 1 corner.
that is really, really frustrating, I'm sure. But Wimpy is still on the point, so he's got to keep fighting, and he has yet to make his pit stop. So if he keeps going for a good amount of laps, he might actually be on for a good position here. As Hugos is sliding through, as somebody loses positions there up front as well. I think Edward goes wide, and Silver gets back into P5.
He's struggling a bit at the moment, Edward.
Yeah, he's on 10 lap old hards. I would assume he's going to have no grip compared to these guys. Vinny on 3
Yeah, Vinny should pass him straightforwardly, but Vinny's Achilles heel, if I could say any, is his lack of patience.
Yeah.
I think I kind of seen it there with Wimpy whenever he tried to force a move on the last corner. You know, it would have been much easier just to wait for the DRS.
Yeah, is he going to go for it here? Yeah, he's going to be late on the brakes. This is a good move. Potentially. He puts... Oh, that was not very kind. And Edward had nowhere to go and just gets squeezed out by Vinny. That was, like I said, not very polite, but you have to leave space. But I'm not too
kind of what I was just kind of saying. Because on my screen I'm recording it here, and it was... He basically just hit him off track.
Yeah, that is not very kind. My camera switched there so I didn't get a perfect view, but it was a little bit hairy there, looking as Thimo holds off Hugos for the time being. I don't know if he passed him or not there. I didn't get to see properly, but yeah, at the moment this is shaping up to be a real head-to-head between some of these guys here in the back for these podium positions potentially, because Vance and Aaron both have to pit. So at the moment, Onion Barge is looking like he's set to win this race potentially, unless he loses out a bit of pace to them and towards the end on those on the harder compound of tires. But yeah, meanwhile Hugos does have a good run here on Thimo, but he's not going to be able to make much of it. So he's going to have to hold off there for the time being, as Jeremy gets another speeding penalty. So I believe that's about 10 seconds worth for him. So yeah, and yeah, Jeremy just retires in the pit lane. I don't know if that's I don't know if that was the best thing to do, because I don't know if that glitch is still here or not. So we're gonna have to pay attention to the pit lane as some of these 2 stops begin. For those of you who are not aware, last game, if you retire in the pit lane, you can cause a glitch that gets other cars stuck in the pit lane. And I am more than aware that you, of all people, have been subject to that glitch. Tipsy, more than once.
Don't remind me.
More than once, but anyways,
robbed me and Pants of one of our titles.
Yeah, we will never forget season 4 to SRL, but barrier emoji.
But if I can I just run while there's a little bit of a lull in the action here? If I can go back to that move that was seamless between Vinny and Edward. Whenever someone makes a pass on you like that, the guy that does the pass, they have to assume always that that car is still there, and they shouldn't assume that the move's done and they can move on to the racing line, because incidents like that happen. I think if I can bring your mind back, Triton, in a practice session in this game that we were racing, And as Hugo goes for a wee pass on Thimo.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it now. Sorry, I was trying to check the stream here. Sorry, I haven't been reading.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right. But I was just, if you remember, whenever I was racing you, I think in this game in a practice session that we were running side by side for quite a long section of a lap. I can't remember what lap it was, as well as I did it with Kirst as well. And what I'm trying to demonstrate is that the move is not done until you can look behind you and you see that car behind you. You should not assume that the pass is done. And that's kind of what we just seen there whenever we seen the Haas going around the McLaren. Because it got round the corner fronts, it assumed the corner or the pass was done and ran out to the racing line, and then of course collected Edward.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's no point, as I say, having all the... Oh, as Hugo spins and he wrecks his front wing.
Oh, that's gonna ruin his race there almost. He's on the hard tires. He might have to pit now. Yeah, he's got pretty hefty front wing damage. I can see that. And Thimo gets a penalty there for going wide. Oh no. So.
It's really I don't know what you say. Humbling, I suppose would be the word. When you see some of these top drivers like Hugo and really struggling, and it makes me feel like maybe I'm not so bad at the moment at this.
Yeah, remember it is a new game. You can't really tell off the bat who's going to be quick, because these times are going to get faster and faster, and people are going to get faster and faster. Some people may not. I mean, for example, towards the halfway point of the game, I started to get faster of 2018.
Yeah.
As Quality just left the session, I think I think his game crashed. I'm not too sure what happened there, but hopefully he can rejoin. But yeah, at the moment, like I said, towards the halfway point, I was getting a little bit quicker, and then I just kind of began to not. I guess I just kind of slowed again, like by a tenth or so, I would say, and I wouldn't say. I guess I hit a wall essentially in that matter, or figuratively. But yeah, meanwhile Hugo goes into the pits, as does Wimpy for his scheduled pit stop. But yeah, let's see. He's not moving. Is Wimpy stuck? No, he is good. Okay, he's good. He was serving a penalty, I think, or I don't know if that was a glitch or not. Yeah. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Jeremy leaves. Double DNF for Red Bull. Not the best way to start off the season, unfortunately. But yeah, now all Hugo can really do now is just go mode push and just try and get some positions now. As Keyboard Magnussen's strategy, unfortunately, has backfired on him. But I mean, it was always going to, I think, considering the handicap he has, as Vinny gets himself a time penalty. So yeah, Thimo is actually looking good right now for P4, and that'll be a really good position for for Renault's constructors. Oh, not Renault, I mean.
Yeah, Silver's looking really good at the moment as well, Triton.
Oh yeah.
When you consider that the instance he's had, he retired in qualifying, then he had the massive accident at the beginning, and he's up to 9th on 3-lap-old.
Yeah, and he's right on the back of P8
Crimsonium, yeah.
Who's also on the same strategy as him, and is.
And 7th is just ahead as well.
Yeah, Edward's right up ahead. Edward hasn't stopped yet, so they're in a very good position. As there's a bit of swerving going on there. As I hear Vinny in the pits now for his second and final pit stop. So yeah, going around the outside there, or down the inside there, Silver gets the pass, and now he's gonna have to try and work his way up to Edward, who he should really quickly. He's got DRS on right now, and that's gonna give him a bit of a benefit there. But yeah, Edward running well at the moment, but when he pits in, he will have a fairly good pace advantage. So he might be able to snag some points or two off of some of those 2 Alfa Romeos. So this is.
So just looking at sorry, Triton. I was just looking at the Bance and Aaron at the moment. It's a bit of a tricky one for Aaron because, for Bance. Always need I say any more? Bance is actually coming into the pits. I was actually going to say Bance will try and want to swing this out as long as he can because he doesn't want to pit too early. But yeah, so he's going to go to the end. What's he got on the mediums? He's going for the end on this one. I think Aaron will need a pit as well.
Yeah, Aaron.
So if Bance can make out, he was 5 seconds behind Aaron before the pit. So if he can somehow find 5 seconds, or if Aaron has an issue. Vance still is in with a shout for this race win.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he just came out P3, just behind, or a bit behind Onion Barge. I don't know how much that is though, because the gap is not updating. But so I believe that is actually quite a bit of a distance. Yeah, Onion Barge is well ahead actually. Looking at it, so he's got it all to do here these next few laps. Onion Barge is not gonna have the tire advantage, and Thimo is only just behind him, but he's probably gonna pull away from him considering they're both Williams on the same strategy, and Vance should catch Onion Barge, so I don't think Thimo will be able to catch, but he is in a good position, P4 at the moment, and he's 8 seconds clear of GK Project, who has to pit still, I think, again, potentially, towards the end of the race, because he's on 7-lap old mediums, as we have a yellow in Sector 1 as Keyboard Magnussen gets a penalty. So
oh, it's Hugo. Hugo's off track.
Oh, and yeah, he is probably not too happy right now.
Oh, he's just sitting on track waiting.
I think he's waiting. Yeah, he's waiting for a gap. Okay, there you go. That's how you rejoin. Very safe rejoin. So let's see.
Oh, he almost spins immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I would assume his tires are probably not too. And he does.
Oh,
again.
he does
yeah,
spin.
He does. Oh. I think. Yeah, I don't think he's too happy right now. Who's coming up behind him? Oh, okay, yeah. Luckily he ghosted. The game. I noticed this game. The ghosting effect does take place much more. Like last game, you would never ghost. So it's just like if there was something that happened, you know, they would probably you're most likely get into the accident. So let's see the. Oh, let's see the gap here now. I think Vance took 2 seconds out of Onion Barge that lap, so he's gonna be on a tear here, trying to get as many laps as he can in, saving fuel, because he did under fuel for the race. He was telling me earlier, in case just to preserve the tires. But yeah, I also find it very interesting that Radios's Ghost is P13.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I'm not sure what the Ghost's difficulty was on, but yeah, Quality is ahead of Tats as well. So maybe the Ghost penalty, the Ghost times are a little bit higher, but of course they will get taken out since they are not in the race. So it's only fair, unless it was with like a few laps to go, then the 90% rule would take effect, I believe.
I think it's also to point out, Triton, that we are going to try and run parallel with the real rules of Formula 1, so fastest lap does count. If you're in the top 10, you do get a point if you get the fastest lap in the top 10. So I think at the moment the fastest lap was set by Silver, from memory.
Yeah, it's not telling me who said it, actually.
Yeah, well, the last time I seen it pop up was Silver.
Oh, I know
so
how,
if
yeah,
that's the...
Yeah, it was Silver.
So if it is... Yeah, so if it finishes as it is, Silver will get an extra point.
Yeah, he just overtook GK Project. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so he's up in a P5 from a pretty horrific luck. And yeah, he's might be able to catch up to Thimo. I'm not too sure. It's 8 seconds with 10 laps to go. So if Thimo keeps it consistent, he should be doing good. So, but either way, P5 from the race that he endured, I think I would be more than happy with that, and he's driven very well. I've seen him doing some pretty good overtakes, pretty good work through the field, taking advantage of everything. You gotta hand it to Silver, I think. So anyways, well, we'll keep an eye out here as well on Vance, who is Onion Barge now. Okay, Aaron pits, so Onion Barge is actually in the lead of the race right now. So let's see what can happen here. Gap is 7 seconds, so if Onion Barge manages the tires and manages his car, he should be in with a safeness and might be able to win this race. Because I believe Aaron's gonna have to be a little bit, just like 8/10 or so faster per lap to be able to catch him, or maybe even a second per lap faster. I'm not entirely sure. I can't do the math off my head, but yeah, he and Vance should be catching soon, potentially. I don't know if Vance will be able to catch, but Aaron might be able to, so this should be a good one as Motocrosser moves up into P7 as Edward pits. So I think he might have damage. Or actually, no, this is around the time he would pit for the softs. He hasn't pitted yet. So
of course, there's the penalties will play a factor as well, Triton. So
yeah,
I don't think Aaron and Vance has a penalty, but I'm no Thimo dog.
Yeah, Thimo definitely has
so,
one.
And from memory from last season, I think Onion Barge was actually quite a clean driver when it came to penalties or on track penalties from memory. So I would be surprised if he has.
Yeah, I don't think he does actually. I think he might have one, but
Yeah, I can go check for you.
yeah. But yeah. Meanwhile, Vinny from P9 on the 2-stop is catching up to Zonium, who is on the 1-stop at the moment. Or I don't know if that's 1-stop or not. I forget. But he is P8. I can check if it was a 1-stop or not. It is a 1-stop, yes. Because I believe he was on mediums first. But yeah, Vinny right on his tail. We saw a bit of impatience earlier, like Tipsy was saying. So hopefully he can pick his fight a little bit better here now. So at the moment here he is going now. Crimsonia depends on the inside because he knows it's about to come. Yeah, Vinny late on the brakes, round the outside there. He does leave the space. Crimsonian still in there, but he is going to back out very wisely because yeah, he just doesn't have the grip to fight that. Very good job from Vinny and very well methodically played out by Crimsonia. He's still on the points, so he's still looking good. As Keyboard Magazine gets another time penalty, so that's not going to help him get any points there. As GK Project leaves the session, I don't know what happened there, but I think he sped the pit lane, and I'm not sure if he just gave up or not, but oh dear, okay. Because he's P8, so I mean, I think, I would assume he crashed, or the game crashed, but I'm not sure, so that's unfortunate. As meanwhile,
there's no penalties for Onion Barge, so
oh,
this is for position.
Okay then. So yeah, it's up to Aaron to keep it clean. Also, I'm gonna say right now, I'm sorry about the stuttering on the stream. I'm unaware of why it's happening. I'm gonna check some stuff here. I don't know if I kept VSync on. Shouldn't be on. But let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything crazy. But yeah, currently the gap is 3.2 seconds. So yeah, Onion Barge is probably gonna have to start pushing for all his might eventually. And Hugos does get another penalty. I'll give Hugos a shout out for manning it through and sticking it through, I guess, for practice. I know he said he wanted practice.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's too bothered with the result. He just wants to get some track acclimatization, see how the race pace is, see how the quali pace is and everything. So as he is,
see how the tires hold up as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the tires is a bit of an unknown at the moment for us.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier in single player. Oh, I mean it's single player, so things work a bit differently. But the front and the rear right, or left, I mean, were starting to overheat a bit towards the after 5 laps or so. Even I mean, trying to run lean and none on the ERS through the corners is a bit hairy. So yeah, that's something to consider. Meanwhile, Silver also might actually have a say in this. He is 3.2 behind Thimo, so he might actually be on for P4 here if he can push a little bit harder and get the pace. So also Thimo does have a penalty. I don't know if Silver has one or not. So this might be P4 for Silver.
I'll go check.
Yeah, after pretty horrific crash pretty bad looking crash in the beginning, where he was pretty much dead last and had to make a work of it. So very well done from him. Still, regardless, yeah. Right on the back of him, 2.8 seconds. That gap is coming down a lot, so Thimo might or might not be struggling, or Silver just might be turning it up now. So yeah, meanwhile, the gap now up front is now 1.6 seconds for the lead, and if I were Onion Barge, I would be a little bit concerned, but I wouldn't want to overreact to this. I would want to just defend for all I can, because this is Australia. It is hard to overtake, but yeah, let's see how this goes for him. He is doing a fairly good job still. He is on 14-lap old hard tires, so.
Yeah, Silver has no penalties, Triton, but Thimo has a 3-second penalty. So
oh, yeah, this is on
if it were to finish as it is, yeah, Silver's P4 at the moment.
Yeah. So I think Thimo knows this, and he's just not too bothered with trying too hard to fight him. So if he does catch him, he might just let him go, which would be the wise thing to do instead of fighting and risking losing out more positions. Because P5 is still very impressive from Thimo. I know he was pretty concerned with his pace in the beginning, but he showed he has some, especially for tier 2. Vinny, I mean, I gotta say, he might have botched the strategy of it. I would not have done that 2-stop.
Yeah.
I mean, Vance made it work somehow because he did a really late medium tire switch, and that actually helped him. So, and Aaron was so far ahead that he made it work as well. But yeah, I believe
Yeah, Aaron is turning up the wick, so to speak, on Onion Barge. He's really bringing this time gap down. So I think, unless there's an incident, I don't see Vance getting it.
Thimo I think went off the track a bit or something because Silver just got past him. So I don't know if Thimo has damage. So it doesn't seem like it, but he might have just hit the curb a bit and gone for a bit of a half spin. But yeah, Silver is passing up into P4 now on track. But yeah, we're gonna go back here to the fight for P1 here because this is where it's gonna be turning up now. I think that this might be the move here as Thimo gets another penalty, but he should be safe as Onion Barge is too far for Aaron to make a move, but locks up into the corner there. Hopefully Aaron bides his time and thinks this through because I don't think that he should be going for a move here. He does have a look, put him off maybe. But yeah, he's right on Onion Barge's gearbox here. So Ferrari v Williams now down the main straight here on lap 25, 29. Can he get this move done? Let's see. He is in the slipstream. He's got it up to mode 4. He's got, and Onion Barge gets straight injuries as well. So yeah, that's not gonna help either. But yeah, it should be noted that Aaron is running low on ERS. He's gonna have to get it now. But yeah, Onion Barge sticking full on the inside here. Is he gonna have a look here? He does go late on the brakes.
Oh, he squeezes him.
Yeah, squeezes him a bit. He is entitled to dictate that line, but that's very, very unpolite. That's what I was saying. You shouldn't be doing that. That is not the kind of driving you want to be doing.
You can't force your way past. I mean, I've been saying this for season after season. You cannot force your way past. You can't expect people to just move for you. It's not the AI. It's one of the frustrations of mine in racing. It's made me rage quit many times.
He hits him in the back a bit there as this is getting a bit hairy between these two. I know it seems like Aaron is getting a bit desperate, as so is Onion Barge in a sense. His defense is not bad, but he is showing a bit in his driving. He is kind of on edge, teetering on edge with this. But yeah, so yeah, half a second now. Onion Barge is defending though. It is still working and it is still doing him a good job. So yeah.
But this fight between first and second is helping Vance because he has shaved just over a second off Aaron at the moment. So
yeah, and Vance does get a time penalty though, and these two do not have one, so that's pretty much it, I think. So,
that's pretty much done now.
So only so many laps left. Yeah, Onion Barge is gonna have to stick again to the inside here. It's very hard to overtake somebody on the outside on this track here. Here goes Aaron. Doesn't really get it done here. Can he do it though? He switches to the inside here. Keyboard Manning gets another penalty. They're coming up on Rados' Ghost, which does not give Onion Barge DRS. I should say luckily, because that wouldn't be very fair. But yeah, that Ghost does put Aaron off as he does get the switch back here. Oh, and they make a bit of contact because he does kind of go for it around the outside there. And yeah, now he's carrying so much.
Hugo's off.
Oh, Hugo's is off and into the wall there as now Onion Barge tries to defend, but around the outside goes Aaron and does get the move done. Is Onion Barge going to have another say though? He is in the slipstream. Tire wear or not, he's going to be on. Is he going to be able to get it though? No, he's not. But yeah, let's see if he can get the switch back here.
Oh, we make it the cutback, yeah.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he gets a much better exit there. And now Aaron's going to go to the inside here. Going to have to try and keep him there. Let's see what happens here. Onion Barge on the outside here. And now feeds it around. Whoa, what a move from Onion Barge. Oh my goodness, this is turning up well. And he's going to have DRS.
And he gets the DRS.
Wow, with the tire disadvantage and everything, Onion Barge is still fighting this. This is incredible racing. And this is a great opener, I would say. But he's got a much better run there, Aaron. But he doesn't make anything of it there because he's unable to, as this is Australia. And he's right on the back.
A bit of a nudge, yeah. He should get him to here on the DRS.
Yeah, he's
so close. He should get him.
Onion Barge is pretty much burning his tires off here, yeah. This is.
Yeah, Aaron was nice and quick under the inside there. That was good.
He's gonna be able to take the racing line back. Yeah, he is, and he's gonna have DRS too. I think that might end up being it, as Hugo does end up retiring.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's got to be it there. Yeah, he's weaving a bit. I don't think he's too happy. But I will say there were some incidents that were a bit unkosher, as Mr. Terror Incognita would say. But yeah, it was still some really incredible racing, I will say. But yeah, Bance was able to shave a few seconds off them, but I don't think it's enough. So he's probably going to be
Yeah,
fairly comfortably.
Yeah, he was able to shave off 3 seconds, but sadly he got himself a 3-second time penalty, so that kind of negates that.
Yeah, unfortunately, but at the moment I think this is how it's going to stand here because the gaps are a bit down. So, but Edward from McLaren, oh dear, he hits the wall. Hopefully he didn't get any wing damage for that, but he does have DRS on Zonium, who's on 15-lap hard tires as Edward's on 7-lap old softs, but these are going to be starting to die out as, oh, he gets a time penalty, so I don't know if Edward has I don't know how many time penalties he has, but that might play into an effect.
So Aaron needs to, these are actually a few nervy laps for Aaron to finish this race, because you have to bear in mind that Onion does not have any penalties, neither does Aaron. One little slip up from Aaron gets himself a 3-second time penalty, his race is over in terms of the win.
It should be noted Onion Barge does have DRS still, so yeah, he's got to keep it clean. How many warnings does Aaron have? Do you know?
I'm not sure, man.
Okay, I don't know if Onion Barge has much either, but
I don't think they have any, actually, from what I can remember looking.
So yeah, it's looking good, but it's not looking exactly over. We don't know how the penalties can affect it.
No, yeah. We also have to pick our driver of the day. Is part of the regulation.
Yeah, we're gonna start that
at the end of the race. Yeah.
Yeah, end of the race. Just in case something incredible happens here.
Yeah. Oh, yellows in sector 1.
Oh dear, yeah. Onion Barge locks up a bit and loses some time there. Yeah, it's cleared up now, whatever that was. So this is good for Onion Barge. He's sticking still with him even with this. Oh, and he gets it. And I think that's it there. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a slam dunk.
He's gonna be kicking himself for that one. I'm sure that is super frustrating. But he is still in P2. He's shown that he's got. I mean, I gotta say, like from what I was watching in the Tier 2 broadcasts last season, like he was a bit inconsistent, I must say. Like Onion Barge, he would be on pole position or be in the lead of the race, and then something would happen, and he would just lose it or end up DNFing or something would happen. So the fact that he's able to race like that and keep it on track shows how much improvement he's gone through. So you gotta hand it to him. And also, I mean, Aaron has shown, like, proved my point how quick he is in this game as we're on the final lap now.
Is Aaron no assists?
He is using Racing Line, so yeah, your favorite.
Because I was gonna say, no, I was gonna say because if he's showing this kind of pace with no assists, then he might get pushed up. But Racing Line, he'll be staying in Tier 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, for those of you who may not believe it, Racing Line does count as an assist. I would know. So yeah, so let's see what's happening.
Yeah, but no, but just to pick up on what you were saying before the end of the race, yeah, Onion Barge has really progressed since we first seen him. I was really impressed by his defensive work here, although he did squeeze a little bit. But I think he gave and took as much as he got.
On that topic, I think he was more than allowed to, considering he was in front. He was dictating the line, and Aaron was kind of had to work his way with it. But yeah, that was some fantastic.
Yeah, the responsibility. The responsibility it falls solely on the overtaker.
Yeah.
To make sure he makes a safe pass.
Yeah. So with that said, here now, with all the overtaking and all the excitement from round 1, here we have our first Tier 2 Season 2 winner. And it is going to be Mr. Aaron Aig. I'm sorry, I can't say your name right, but he wins the Australian Grand Prix for Ferrari and Onion Barge. Unfortunately, with that time penalty and the tire disadvantage, P2 for him, but putting up a great drive, both of them. Fantastic driving, as proved, as I talked about. Vance comes home for P3 in this one, and Silver driving an absolutely insane race, P4 in the end. Thimo as well, showing some improved consistency. Hopefully this is what he needs for his motivation to stay, as this was a great drive from him. P5 for that, and that is great driving, great job from him, as Vinny on the 2-stop is going to come home for P6, I believe. I think he's safe, because I think Vinny did have penalties as well. Yeah, he did. So 3 seconds extra, or 3 seconds less, I mean, only. But Meanwhile, Motocrosser is going to cross the line first for the Alphas, and Keyboard Magnussen is going to be P8 for them, so 7th and 8th for them. That's going to be good for their constructors. I think Williams is going to be the big winners.
Crimson's lost it in the last corner.
Oh no, and Edward.
And Edward, there must have been an incident.
Yeah, I think he's going to let him keep that position, though. I think that, okay, if Edward hit him and he did that, then that's very kind of Edward. Kudos to him for that, yeah, and that is the race done, guys. Wow, that was a pretty good one, I must say. So, just sets up what.
Pretty cool. I also got. Sorry, Triton. No, I was just gonna say I just happened to get an achievement for that.
Oh,
Watching that.
That was great. Okay, but
So, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that pretty much set up what we were saying. That Tier 2 is gonna be one cracker of a league for this to watch, and I believe that minus the stream issues, again, that I apologize for, that is what we were saying. This is going to be one hell of a league to watch, I should say. So yeah, this is the results here. Aaron, the winner. Onion Barge P2, silver from P14, and last place as well, up to P4. So, driver of the day. I mean, we both know who. I think we both know who gets it. It's got to be silver, I think, as well as Aaron did there on that two-stop strategy, and as well as Onion Barge did to defend. I gotta give it to silver, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, driver of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you were gonna go down the drivers, Aaron, of course, from pole, had a fight for the win at the end there, and he got the great job. But I have to agree with you. Silver has to get driver of the day for me. To go from, you know, retiring the quali to then starting way out of position, then getting caught up in a major accident, limping round in lap 1, changing your front wing to finishing 4th. I think that's driver of the day for me.
Absolutely.
No problem. No.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna do some interviews now, I think, or we're gonna be able to do 1 or 2 interviews.
Yeah, I think we're a bit pressed for time at the moment, so if we get these interviews in.
Yeah, so let's see. Very well done to all the drivers. Let's see what we can get. Nobody's in the chat right now, but let's see what we have to say. We do have some reports here as well, and I can't see. I need interviews. Two people. So I would like to get Aaron or in.
Whew.
Let's see what we
Can
got.
I actually hear anybody here?
Oh dear, what's happening? Okay.
Hello.
I didn't know I had join rights, sorry.
Hey guys. Okay.
That was a good.
Well, you're
that
here
was
now.
A good race. That was a good race.
Damn.
Oh, I hear something in game. Okay, I was like, what is that?
You did a you.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So we should be good here. So we have Bance and Thimo. Here. I'm actually gonna move some other people in. To here as well. So we're
Yeah.
gonna move Onion
Onion
Bar.
Silver. I mean,
Oh,
basically everyone in the Gentleman's Launch had
Yeah.
something to say, I guess.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I gotta disconnect
That
Milos.
isn't-
I saw that. So all right. So we got people here for interviews.
Winnie's not
Sorry,
on there.
it's gonna be black screen, but because I don't have the screen. So, anyways, here we have Aaron. I couldn't pronounce your name properly because I wasn't too sure.
Ag. Just ag.
Ag.
You know.
Ag. Yeah, just ag.
Okay, ag.
That's
Okay.
Aaron, innit?
I was
Aaron
calling you
Ag.
Aaron and on the stream. Yeah. So ag. Okay, thank you. I
But
also
ag
have
is funny.
Yeah, I have Onion Barge, Silver, Bence, and Thimo here. So, yeah, I guess I'll ask some questions here. So Aaron, that was a win on debut. How do you feel?
It feels pretty good. It feels
Is
pretty
he even
good.
there?
It was a tough
Does he
one.
feel anything?
Pardon?
Thimo's trolling. Don't listen to him.
I'm
So-
It's
ignoring.
like interviewing
Yeah.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh yes.
Trying to steal my spotlight.
I believe
Don't
so.
move Milos up, by the way. He's
Yes,
he's
right.
a race engineer.
Oh, okay,
was-
okay, okay, understood.
Wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you think from these two guys who have experience of commentating, they know it's rude to interrupt the interviewee?
Yeah, that is very rude. So that's gonna be a
That's
penalty.
right.
I think that's a penalty for all of you. So Aaron,
5 seconds.
ag. Sorry. Continue. How was the race
Hello.
for you?
It was great. I had to work for it. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be,
Wait,
honestly.
am I
Yeah,
the only one who
okay.
can't hear him? Or
I-
what? I don't get it.
Yes, I think you're deaf, Renan.
Yeah, I
Have
think,
you plugged in
yeah.
your hearing aids?
Oh, is he talking?
He's
not
talking?
saying anything
I cannot
to me.
hear him.
Me
Legit.
neither.
I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
Okay.
Let me reconnect. Wait.
Okay, so but while he does that, let's go to Onion Barge. Sorry, we'll come back
I
to
don't-
him. So, that was a pretty good fight. We were really impressed with how you're fighting for P1 there on the different tires and everything. How was that for you?
It was hard, man. My tires were dead.
Yeah, I
The
could
hard
tell.
tires. I knew they could last, but they're not really good in a battle. But just tried to make the most of it. Really,
Okay.
it's a good battle, though.
Yeah, it looked like fun. I was really impressed too. You were able to fight it back at one moment, but then I was actually about to say that you might have actually been in it with a chance still, and we were paying attention to if either one of you got a penalty, but unfortunately, fortunately you were you got the
So I was
penalty,
like,
but
okay, two-stop.
it was
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
yeah. Sorry, I
Once
moved
he
back,
got
but yeah,
after the second time, it was kind of that was it.
yeah.
Nothing much. I just let him go, really.
Yeah, but anyways, moving back to Aaron, that was very well driven on debut. So any interesting other moments in the race for you guys? I wasn't able to pay attention to everything, of course.
It was basically just the battle with Onion. It was fun,
Okay.
kind of trying to pass some other people who were on different strategies who were running like the one stops after I pit and I had to repass them. Yeah, that was interesting. And then apart from that, I was just chasing after Onion, making sure I could get the win.
Okay, that's great. So now moving on to our driver of the day, Mr. OCR Silver. We saw that crash early lap one. I didn't actually see what happened. Do you want to tell us what was going on there? Because I think you hit.
Yeah.
I think somebody went into you, or.
No, there were a couple of people in front of me who hit each other, and I was like 50 meters behind them, so I couldn't go avoid them. So I crashed into them at mid-wing damage, pit at lap 1. Went to super softs because I knew I had a good pace, so I wanted to get the best of the softs. And then I went to hard, and yeah, that was it.
Okay. But yeah, that's whatever you did. I mean, was absolutely incredible. Like, or your strategy was very well, and so was the race pace. I saw like you're already on the back of Thimo with I think it was, did you two stop or yeah, you two stopped essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very well done. So
I
easily.
think also Silver gets the extra point for the fastest lap.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yes, congrats, Silver. So you get instead of 12 points, you get 13. So that's good for the constructors.
Yeah, I was thinking to pit again at the end for softs, but I was too close to Thimo, so I didn't.
That's a bit disrespecting, don't you think?
Okay, with that said, you drove
You could've
fantastically, and that was very well done. Now let's move on to our former commentator, who I usurped because I'm superior in all other ways, including no, actually, no, that's not true. But
You will do.
you
No,
would, yeah.
no,
Oh,
I want to quickly say, Aaron, though, by the way, I don't know about anyone else, but you were not saying anything for me. Your Discord speech
Same.
bubble was not on. So when Triton said I was interrupting the interviewee, I thought it was a meme or something because I didn't hear anyone.
Can you hear me now?
You must be very
I can
bad.
hear
At,
you now.
good.
I can hear you
Same
now
for
since
me.
you rejoined, but I couldn't hear you.
Sorted.
you must be bad with accents, Bance, because how can you mistake an Irish
What are
accent
you
for an
saying?
Australian?
What are you saying?
It's so
I don't
distinctive.
understand you.
Do you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad I'm commentating the Triton.
so yeah, how was the race for you? That was a very early pit stop, lap 4 or so.
Yeah, so I brought my race engineer Milos
Okay.
with
Oh
me. He's
yes,
been
I would
with
like
me
to hear.
since the beginning of my racing career in 2005.
I would actually like
so
to hear
thank
from
you to
him. Yes, he is. From what I understand, he is the number 1 on the SLR power rankings. So
Yes.
and the 2
So
SLR
the
power
issue,
rankings as well.
the issue we had was, I think Milos said it afterwards. We don't know for 100% sure what it was,
Yes,
but we had an issue with the piston ring, so we weren't getting full power in the
There was
race.
also a
So I
gearbox
had to
issue,
pit
so
in.
we had to swap the gearboxes from Hugo's and
Yes.
Pants when he retired.
Yeah, so that's what we
understood.
had to pit on lap 3 because we had to sort some issues out with the gearbox and the pistons. so we could continue the race. However, we never got the power back from before, which is the only reason we didn't win.
Yes.
And then so we were, just trying to bring the car home with everything we had. And hopefully back at the garage they can give us more information at the briefing tonight. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I can't hold that in. I'm never interviewing you guys again. Okay, so I
Why are
heard.
you
Okay,
laughing? Is that funny to you?
yes, it's funny.
Because I was struggling in this race
I know
funny
you're
to you.
full of-
Working
I know you're
day
full
and
of
night
crap
for
stuff.
weeks in preparations for this Grand Prix, and you're laughing at that.
Yeah, I am
listen,
laughing at your
things
misery.
may happen, okay?
I'm laughing at your misery because I find your misery is my joy. But anyways, moving on now to Mr. Thimo, our number one commentator. Hopefully Tara didn't hear me say that. But yeah.
Certainly out of Terra and myself, I performed better in this race. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
you can say
definitely.
that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
thank you.
So basically, I was impressed with your race pace, Timo. That was some pretty solid racing. Hopefully your motivation sticks this time, is what we were saying. So what do you have to say? Anything interesting? Or...
I don't know if it's interesting. I think the first stint was pretty fun. Like I was Keyboard Magnussen was struggling a bit, and I could stick to Yugos, and then Yugos made some mistakes, and I was able to go ahead of him, which was pretty enjoyable having him in his mirrors and knowing that every second I'm ahead of him, I'm holding him up, and he was mad, and that was pretty. I was leeching my energy off of his agony. That was pretty cool. And then he obviously crashed, and I thought, oh yeah, P4 incoming. And then Silver was like, oh no, I'm like 2 seconds pull up quicker than you are. And I tried the one stop because I thought it would be quick. I already did the one stop in a practice race with softs to mediums there, and it was fine. But here somehow two stops seemed really fast, and I just couldn't keep up with any of them. And basically the last stint I was just tire conserving. It was just tire conserving. I tried not to die, and it paid off. P5. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, that was a solid result. What happened? I saw. How did Silver pass you? Actually, I wanted to ask. Like, did you lose it or like?
Oh, I lost it.
Okay.
I
need to make
I wanted
sure.
to turn into turn one, and I realized I would. I got massive oversteer, so I corrected and just went across the grass.
But
and
at least
went
okay.
past.
It could have been worse though. So that's a good save. I will hand that to you. But yeah, that was I think okay. The last person to interview because I skipped him, even though he already spoke, is Mr. Milosh or Cursed. That Vance's insanely epic
Yes.
Driver briefer or pit engineer.
Yes,
So
the race engineer and race mechanic.
so yes, we know there were apparently quote unquote problems with the car.
Yes, unfortunately we had a gearbox issue early on the race, so then I had to pit on lap 4, and we swapped the gearboxes from Hugo's because he's our second driver, and these things may happen. So we had to sacrifice.
Sorry to my teammate again. I saw the crash on the TV screen in the race, but from what I heard, he's okay, no injuries.
Yes, he's back in the motorhome right now,
Turn into
so
a
it's
wingman.
very good.
For the Bahrain Grand Prix,
But yeah,
we
that is,
definitely need to get behind the issues with the pistons.
So yeah,
Yes.
but with that in mind, I actually wanted to point that out that I was actually Milosh's pit engineer for Tier 2 last season. So it seems that there's been a change of
The
guard.
tables have turned.
The tables have turned many ways, because now
Yes.
yeah, okay, but yeah, so I found that funny to bring up. But yeah, anyways, I think that we're gonna call it there for today. Massive thank you to Mr. TipsyBob for commentating with me. It was an absolute
Just hanging about.
yeah, hanging. I wouldn't say hanging about, but I would say holding it down for me while my stream was absolutely having an aneurysm
Dragging
or
the
something. But yeah,
quality. What?
yeah. But yeah, thank you to everyone for driving. Congrats again to Aaron for winning the race and Silver for driver of the day, and to our podium finishers. Be sure to tune in next week. We're in Bahrain, I believe. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to EGL. Be sure to follow and catch up on last season if you want. And yeah, we will see you guys next week, hopefully. Or also tune in Saturday and Sunday. We have SLR Tier 1 Saturday at 1820 CEST, and then 2SRL on Sunday at 20 or 2000 CEST? 20 CEST, yeah.
2000.
2000. I don't know. I don't go by that time. I'm American, so. Anyways, yeah. Be
Americans.
sure to tune in then. We will see you guys next week.